Today's topic is a broad intro to web accessibility and WCAG compliance. So, bit of a backstory here. We spun Accessible Web out of an agency that I own here in Burlington, Vermont, called Bytes Co. Bytes with a Y. 2016, we found web accessibility. Semi-accidentally, we built this amazing website, and for a high-end lighting company here, I was showing it to my mother-in-law, Annette, over Thanksgiving, and she was very politely pretending to use it. And Annette has some vision issues. And when I asked her why she wasn't interacting with the website, she let me know it wouldn't zoom up, let me know she couldn't see the text. And, for whatever reason, we hadn't built the website to zoom properly. So I went back to the office, started trying to figure out how to make the website maybe work better for low vision users. Found WCAG, and around that time, all these lawsuits started happening. It became very apparent to me that web accessibility was something that was coming over the horizon, and figured we built hundreds of websites at our agency at that time. We had never thought about accessibility, embarrassingly enough. And so immediately started kind of learning that skill set and figuring out how to offer it to our customers. And as we were thinking about how to offer it to our customers, we were really looking for a piece of software. Immediately compared this to SEO, where we have SEMrush, Ahrefs. SEMrush is the primary one we use at Bytes. So we had a piece of software for SEO that helped us find the SEO opportunities or issues, helped explain how to do the work, and then helped us track it for our clients. And with this central piece of software, we were able to build SEO into all of our website builds. We were able to offer SEO as a service. And with this subscription, it lets us maintain a portfolio of almost 100 different SEO clients, with all the data in one place. So we started looking around for something similar that we could use for web accessibility, and it didn't exist. So we started building ramps, spun up a website, and that's kind of the origin of how we got here today. So really excited to talk to you all. This company was built from an agency, and we're pretty uniquely suited to help you out. So the goal of this webinar series is we want to increase your familiarity with web accessibility, help you understand why it matters, definitely understand web content accessibility guidelines, help you understand how WCAG aligns with compliance and the different laws that are out there. So in the US, we've got ADA lawsuits, ADA Title II for kind of state, local, municipal governments. So there's a lot of different laws. There's the EAA in Europe. There's the ACA and AODA in Canada. Then we want to help you understand different paths to using RAMP, to build new websites, upgrading a portfolio of websites, just overall reducing the legal risk for yourself as an agency and for your customers. And then maybe most importantly, we want to help you understand how this is a tremendous opportunity to add revenue to your agency. So basically what I'm envisioning is we've offered this coupon code here, Agency Webinar 2024. You can sign up for a 14-day trial of RAMP, and this coupon code will extend it for an additional month. And so what this will let you do is create a RAMP Pro Plus account. That's the most common account type, the most common subscription level that agencies sign up for. It allows you to maintain 30 websites in RAMP and have unlimited users in RAMP. So if you want to sign up for a RAMP Pro Plus trial, you can use the coupon code Agency Webinar 2024. That will give you an extra month, and that will allow you to follow along for 6 weeks while we do these webinars. I've got some action steps at the end, and I will continue to have action steps as we move through these webinars. And then at the end, if you don't feel that this is useful, you can cancel, you can downgrade, totally no obligation here, but want to extend that so folks can follow along with the suggestions we have here. All right, so what is web accessibility? It's the practice of designing, developing digital technologies to be usable by people of all abilities, ensuring equal access to information and functionality. When we look at accessibility here at Accessible Web, how we'd encourage you to look at it is think about it from a concept of universal design. We want everyone to have amazing experiences. Make sure you're not getting pigeonholed in this idea of this is only for someone, people immediately go to assumptions. This is for people that are blind. This is for people that are in wheelchairs. Why does my car dealership need to make a website for someone that's blind? Blind people don't drive cars. So don't get into that train of thought. Be thinking about this from an idea of we are here to make websites through accessibility better for everyone. And another thing I like to just think about is, if you don't have a disability, maybe consider yourself temporarily abled. We're all getting older. We all might have an injury at some point. So, do this as an investment for your community, for everyone, for your future self. So why your agency should prioritize web accessibility. This is kind of the legal piece. So your clients expect compliance. You are the digital agency, you're building the websites. It's your responsibility to make sure your clients are not getting sued. So in order to stay compliant with laws like the ADA, the AODA, the EAA, both for your existing clients and new clients, you need to be accessible. There's also a competitive advantage here. Not everyone knows how to do this. We are still pretty early, kind of amazingly enough. We're all pretty early in this still. And by doing accessibility correctly, by understanding how to do accessibility affordably, you have a huge competitive advantage. And then this also builds trust with big clients. You might be able to squeak away with not providing this to a smaller, restaurant in your town. But if you want to land big organizations, you need to have a handle on how to do accessibility because they will most certainly require it and require the maintenance of it. There's also the positive side. This is a growing concern. It opens up your doors to a wider range of clients, protects your reputation, adds value. So there's SEO improvements that can be made with accessibility. There's hosting and support package improvements that can be made with accessibility. This gets into upsell opportunities. And it also helps you future-proof your offerings. This isn't going away. This is a requirement that is here to stay. So, don't ignore it, like embrace it. And the quicker you can get a program stood up, get your team trained up, the better off you're going to be. All right, so the right way to do accessibility is by following the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. And the cool thing here is that most of these laws, the ADA, the AODA, the EAA, for the most part, they all point to WCAG. So Web Content Accessibility Guidelines is a set of standards that's maintained by the World Wide Web Consortium. It's international. And there's 4 key principles to it. Websites need to be perceivable. They need to be operable. They need to be understandable and robust. And then there's 3 different levels of compliance. There's single A, double A, and triple A. So most of the laws require double A, almost all of them to my awareness require double A. Triple A has some really cool aspirational stuff that, maybe not aspirational, but situational. If you really want to flex some accessibility skills, if you are working for a school for the deaf, for example, you might offer sign language alternatives on every page. So AAA gets into some pretty heady accessibility stuff. AA is definitely where you want to start with your clients. And if you can achieve WCAG AA and you can maintain that, you will be in a very defensible spot in terms of protecting your clients from liability and making sure they're aligned with applicable laws. The wrong way is overlays. So we see a lot of agencies fall into this trap of, oh, let me just sign up for one of these overlay partnership programs and I can just put a script on every page and voila, I'm done with accessibility. The problem with overlays is that we've talked to a lot of users with disabilities, and they don't typically use overlays. They want to show up to a website and have it just work. So overlays can get really frustrating. A lot of times we also have clients that put an overlay on their website and they still end up with an ADA lawsuit. In a lot of cases, it's kind of just putting a script on a website that maybe these lawyers that are cruising around looking for targets, they can just look for this script, and when they see it, they know you haven't done any actual accessibility work. So see a lot of clients, a lot of websites that come to us after using an overlay, and they get sued. They don't get much support, and then they need to do it right, plus pay the legal fees. There's also some performance issues. Whenever you can avoid adding JavaScript to your website, it's basically these overlays, these toolbars are attempting to automatically have a one-size-fits-all solution that gets injected and will fix the problems. And there's a huge variation for how websites are coded out there. So definitely it's a bit of a stretch to think that one script is going to fix all the issues. And then the biggest thing maybe for you as an agency is there's a lot of work to do. Like doing WCAG correctly requires billable hours. Someone has to go through websites and make upgrades. And it doesn't really make sense to me, if I put my agency owner hat on, why I would just put a $79 a month script where I can make, 10% or, even make, I don't know, $25 a website a month. Why would I do that when I can instead use accessibility as an opportunity to generate billable hours? So our solution is Accessible Web Ramp. So this is a platform, almost a system that we've designed to help our customers create websites, maintain websites that achieve WCAG, that meet the required regulations, and can put you in a very defensible spot when it comes to ADA compliance, AODA compliance, WCAG conformance. So RAMP stands for Regulations, Assessment, Monitoring, and Practices, and we are constantly building on it. We are making improvements every day, improving the features. We work very closely with our customers, agencies, especially on implementing the things you're asking for. So this is our approach. And we built RAMP, like I said, out of our agency. When we saw this gap, we built it specifically for agencies. So RAMP Pro Plus is our most popular plan. If you go to our website and check out our pricing plan, we have 4 different tiers plus an enterprise level. So RAMP Pro Plus includes 30 websites, up to unlimited users, a bunch of other features. So it works out to about $20 per website per month if you got it fully loaded. So with that level of affordability, you're able to use it as a sales tool. You can just put your clients' websites in, see how they scan. And once you're up and running, like let's assume you're charging $150 an hour is just an average billable rate for an agency. You just need to do 1 billable hour and you're profitable already. So the tool is also designed to generate billable hours. It's just like I described that SEO platform where it will find issues for you, put them into context, and then help you track the remediation, help you track the progress. We have an agency program. Agencies that sign up for our RAMP Pro Plus plan, we provide a 10% discount on the services like WCAG audits, UX testing. And then we also have a certification process that you can work with us through, where we will complete a manual audit. Your team remediates your website, and then we'll verify things were completed correctly, and then sign off at the end that the website has been upgraded per our process. All right, so get started today. So I use this all the time. Best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Second best time is today. So like I said, we'd encourage you to sign up for RAMP Pro Plus. Hopefully a lot of you have gotten started with your clients and have built up some level of expertise, but even if you haven't, no big deal. My recommendation though is start ASAP. You need to have this conversation. Everyone hates hard conversations with clients. But the longer you wait on this, the more of a risk that one of your clients is going to get an ADA demand letter, the farther behind your competition is going to be. So we'd encourage you to get started, and the next couple slides kind of show you how to do that. So got a couple internal action items that I'd recommend. Set up Ramp, and with that Ramp Pro Plus trial, no obligation, you can add a selection of your websites to Ramp. They'll start scanning immediately. Maybe invite your team, get your developers in there, show them the results that we're seeing, and then review your recommended action items. So I'll show you this. This is kind of a view that I've set up here. So this is my my demo view. You can see you can put a ton of different websites in here, your whole portfolio if you want, and get a snapshot of where each website is at. And then here's Supreme Court, just a hopefully semi-neutral website to review. With Ramp, once you set it up, it'll ingest the pages. You can go in here and set it up to monitor a sitemap.xml file if you've got one. You can set it to scan weekly, is typically our recommendation, but there's also options for monthly or quarterly. And then what Ramp will do is it will ingest all of your pages, and it will scan each page using the Axe Core rule set and find accessibility issues. So this is one particular page. We'll open this up. We can use our Chrome extension. This ties into Ramp accounts. We can use our Chrome extension to actually see these issues as they exist on the page. You can see we've actually got 45 color contrast issues on this one page. This footer is an accessibility mess. And we've got remediation instructions. So you can move through a website page by page, go through and fix each one of these issues. The faster way to do it though, and what we'd recommend, after you've given the site maybe an hour to scan and process, you can come in here under automated scanning and look at your recommended action items. And so what this does is this view takes the failure and element combinations that existed on the pages view on each individual page, and then it aggregates them across your entire site. So what this view lets you see is a prioritized list of what you should fix first. It'll start with the most frequent and most critical issues, and then it will kind of have a long tail effect where it goes into stuff that might be on components, like this right here is maybe document pages, and then it will go into the issues that exist on a single page. So with this automated action items view, you can see there's actually only 20 issues across this website with 2,100 pages roughly that would need to be fixed to get it up to 100 of 100 automated scan. So this gets to my next step. External action items, client action items. What we'd recommend you do once you get that representative sample of pages, check out Ramp, poke around, and the baseline for accessibility that we always recommend for agencies to do is get an accessibility page on all of your clients' websites. I have an example of an accessibility page here. This is hopefully almost ski season here in Vermont. So here's Smuggler's Notch, and they have an accessibility page. Really what you need to make sure you do on your page, it doesn't need to be totally complex, but make a commitment to accessibility. Mention that you're targeting WCAG, and then most importantly, make sure you have a feedback mechanism and let people know if they're having trouble on your website that they should report it and that you will respond to it. And then typically we recommend putting the web accessibility page, put the link down in the footer along with your privacy policy, terms and conditions, other policies. By putting it in a footer, it'll be easily found on any page if someone's running into an issue. So add an accessibility page to every website that's interested, and then try to get folks upgraded to an 100 of 100 automated score. And the way I recommend quoting this, it's pretty easy with Ramp, is you can come in here, you can go to the recommended, you can go to the recommendations here under automated scanning and just come up with an hourly rate that's 20 recommendations times let's call it 2 hours per issue. add in another 2 hours to create an accessibility page, and you have a quote now for 42 hours of work to get the website updated to be 100 of 100 automated score and to have that accessibility page. So automated 100 of 100 score isn't everything. It's just a first step. I'm going to get more into that in coming weeks, but both those things will put you in a very defensible position. And then finally, the other thing I'd recommend is inform your clients. You need to have a conversation with every one of them. You're probably sitting on a portfolio of websites that's a combination of websites you built, maybe websites you've inherited, but you need to let them know that this is an issue. You want to bring it to their attention. And this is also kind of a CYA thing for you as an agency. So we've got this template letter here. This is similar to what we sent out to all the clients at our agency around 2018. And it basically says, hey, look, we are aware that your website is not accessible, and it should be. We want to help you improve this. Here's the risks, and here are your options. And then to take action, basically, we decided to do two options. Option number one is, acknowledge that you want to learn more and schedule a consultation. Option two is, if you don't want to proceed, fine, but just sign here so that we have a record of you saying that you don't care about this. So from there, if you send this letter out, we sent it out via our proposal system because it gave us a record of opens. It allowed us to create that legally binding signature. And then we also were able to send it out to all of our contacts 3 times so that if folks didn't open it, we were in a very defensible position to say, look, we sent this to you 3 times. You just ignored it. And then the customers that say they want to move forward, this is where you might give them that initial quote for the accessibility page, plus the how to get to 100 of 100 score quickly. And then from there, I would recommend having a conversation with them. And there's a couple different paths forward from here, which gets us into the next webinars. So the main 2 paths forward for your customers are going to be, all right, let's rebuild this website from scratch. It's old. You've got the budget. You were thinking about a build anyway. So this is going to be the webinar on December 5th, is how to use RAMP to build a website that's accessible from scratch. And then our webinar on December 12th is going to be about offering accessibility as a service. So if your client has a newer website, maybe they don't have the budget available to do a full website redesign right now, you can start chipping away at this. And if you can get them to that 100 of 100 score, it's not ideal, but you do have the opportunity at that point to start making incremental improvements towards full ADA compliance using our manual audit tool. And then finally, our 4th webinar is going to be December 19th. And that's focused really on long-term strategies to help your clients understand their responsibility and help you create a sustainable long-term offering for accessibility at your agency. So I will stop sharing and go to questions and answers.